Imagine a place so mysterious, so steeped in dark history, that even today the Italian government forbids visitors from stepping foot on it. Just a short distance from the beautiful canals of Venice lies an island whispered about in hushed tones, an island cloaked in centuries of sorrow and intrigue. It beckons with tales of plague, madness, and perhaps even ghosts. This is the story of Poveglia Island, a place where history meets horror and reality blends with legend. But before we dive into the haunting lore of this forbidden island, let's take a moment to appreciate your presence here. If you're new to our channel, welcome aboard. We bring you the most captivating tales of mystery, myth, and the unknown. So if you're as intrigued by the enigmatic as we are, consider subscribing. It's a simple way to ensure you never miss out on our spine-chilling narrations. Now let's turn our attention back to the enigmatic Poveglia Island. Our journey through time begins in the heart of the 14th century, a period when Venice was a thriving metropolis, a hub of trade and culture. However, beneath this veneer of prosperity lurked a sinister threat, the bubonic plague, also known as the Black Death. This dreaded disease would cast a long shadow over Europe, claiming millions of lives. And Venice was not spared its wrath. In a desperate bid to safeguard its populace, the Venetian government took drastic measures. They needed a quarantine zone, a place to isolate those infected or suspected to be carrying the plague. Thus, their eyes fell upon a small, uninhabited island near the bustling city, Poveglia. At that time, the island was a desolate, marshy wasteland, far from the picturesque scene we've described earlier. Nevertheless, it served the immediate purpose of the authorities. The sick and the dying were transported there from Venice, left to fend for themselves amidst the unforgiving terrain. As the plague raged, Poveglia became a graveyard of sorts. The air was thick with the stench of death, the ground littered with the bodies of the departed. Those who arrived at the island were given a grim choice: either succumb to the plague or jump into the sea and hopefully drown before succumbing to the disease. It was a fate worse than death, a slow, agonizing demise. What followed was a chilling legend, one that would forever tarnish the island's reputation. It is said that the spirits of those who died on Poveglia, trapped between life and death, refused to move on. They lingered on the island, their tormented souls seeking solace, or perhaps revenge. In the years that followed the plague, Poveglia remained largely untouched, serving as a constant reminder of the city's dark past. Then came the 20th century, a new era. Yet another chapter of sorrow was about to unfold. The island once again found a new purpose, albeit a less sinister one. In the 1920s, the Italian government converted Poveglia into a psychiatric hospital. This marked a stark contrast from its previous use as a plague quarantine zone. Yet the transition was not without its own set of challenges and controversies. You see, mental health treatment in the early 20th century was a far cry from modern standards. The asylum was a place of confinement, not therapy. It was here that patients were subjected to harsh and inhumane practices. One of the most disturbing tales from this period revolves around a doctor who is believed to have experimented on his patients. The methods were cruel, the experiments bordering on the insane. Some patients were allegedly lobotomized without proper medical oversight, leading to tragic outcomes. Others endured painful and unnecessary procedures, all in the name of what was considered treatment at the time. These accounts, while chilling, are shrouded in mystery. It is unclear how much of this is based on fact and how much is woven into the fabric of legend. Yet they contribute to the unsettling atmosphere that continues to surround Poveglia to this day. As the decades passed, the hospital fell into disrepair. The staff dwindled, and the cries of tormented souls echoed through the empty corridors. Eventually, the hospital was abandoned, leaving behind a legacy of pain and suffering. Today, Poveglia stands abandoned, its buildings crumbling under the weight of history. The island is now part of the Veneto, a protected area in Italy. Its main purpose is research and preservation of biodiversity, a fitting irony considering the dark chapters associated with the island. However, the human impact on the island has not entirely ceased. There are reports of fishermen visiting Poveglia to discard their catch, only to flee in terror, claiming to have seen ghostly apparitions. Some claim that the ghost of a little girl lingers near the island cemetery, her mournful cries carried on the wind. Others speak of shadowy figures seen through the windows of the abandoned hospital, their presence both terrifying and sorrowful. Indeed, the island's reputation as a haunted wasteland has only grown in recent times. Numerous paranormal investigation teams have ventured onto Poveglia, hoping to capture evidence of the supernatural. Their findings, while often inconclusive, have contributed to the island's mystique. Some investigators have reported feeling an oppressive, heavy atmosphere on the island, as if the spirits of the past are ever present. Yet despite the chilling tales and alleged paranormal activity, historians offer a different perspective. They argue that much of the horror associated with Poveglia is a product of fear and myth-making. Supporters of this view point to the lack of concrete evidence to support the existence of ghosts on the island. They believe that the stories serve as cautionary tales, reflecting humanity's deep-seated fears about death, disease, and the unknown. Furthermore, some historians argue that the island's notoriety has been deliberately exaggerated for sensational purposes. They suggest that the haunting tales are part of a broader cultural fascination with all things macabre, a fascination that has led to the creation of a modern-day legend. So is Poveglia Island genuinely haunted, or is it a case of mass hysteria driven by fear and folklore? The truth, as is often the case, lies somewhere in the murky depths of history. One thing is certain: the Italian government has officially banned access to the island. Signs warning of severe penalties deter even the most intrepid explorers. Whether it is to protect the island's fragile ecosystem or to respect the potential resting places of countless souls is unclear. But this only adds to the enigma of Poveglia, making it all the more irresistible to those seeking a glimpse into the unknown. For some, the legends of Poveglia are more than just stories. They are deeply unsettling. The thought of restless souls trapped on an island, unable to find peace, is a chilling one. Others, however, view these tales as a reflection of humanity's capacity for cruelty and suffering. The history of Poveglia, from its use as a plague quarantine zone to a psychiatric hospital, serves as a grim reminder of the darkness that can lurk within seemingly civilized society. For many, a visit to Poveglia, if it were possible, would be a journey into the darkest recesses of human history. It would be a confrontation with the suffering and tragedy that have unfolded on its shores. But perhaps it is precisely this confrontation that some are seeking. Maybe it is in confronting our darkest fears and acknowledging our past atrocities that we can begin to heal. The story of Poveglia Island is a testament to the power of fear and the human capacity for both great achievements and unspeakable horrors. It is a story that continues to captivate and terrify, leaving us to ponder the true nature of the island and the darkness that lies within us all. So as we conclude our journey into the haunting lore of Poveglia, we leave you with a question. What do you believe? Is the island truly cursed, or is it merely a misunderstood piece of history? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And as the shadows grow long and the night sets in, remember, some places are best left undisturbed. Thank you for joining us on this chilling exploration of Poveglia Island. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with fellow lovers of the macabre. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more spine-tingling tales. Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and beware of the island's curse.